All right, welcome back to my TC Academy. We're going to get into an intro of transaction coordinating, or TC. So let's talk about the founder. The founder is myself, Jennifer Cortez. So Jennifer Cortez is the founder of my TC Academy, a nationally recognized leader in transaction coordinating. She has led and scaled a high-performance team of transaction coordinators operating across the United States for 4 years, collectively closing more than 100 million in real estate transactions. Driven by a passion for education and operational excellence, Jennifer founded My TC Academy to show others that it is possible to build a 6 to 7 figure real estate business without holding a real estate license or having prior industry experience. Transaction coordinating has given Jennifer the freedom to design a life on her terms, allowing her to work remotely, travel throughout Puerto Rico, and spend meaningful time with her family while building a scalable nationwide business. So guys, this is the whole reason why my TC Academy exists today. When I started off, I knew nothing about what a TC was. I only knew there was a real estate agent, investor, buyer, seller, and attorney. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything that I know today. And so this is why my TC Academy exists today, is to teach you guys exactly what it is that I do every single day and what has given me the freedom to travel the world. So what's needed to become a TC? So you're going to need strong administrative skills, organizational skills, time management. And the difference between a licensed TC and a non-licensed TC, because you'll hear people say, oh, I'm looking for a licensed TC or things like that. There's no license that exists currently as of February the 3rd, 2026. There's no license for that. However, when they say I'm looking for a licensed TC, typically they're looking for a realtor that does solely transaction coordinating. That is it. They're a licensed agent. Now, again, it is not something that is required. When I started off as a transaction coordinator, I was not an agent. I was only a transaction coordinator. And when I tell you, it was a very lucrative business, and I made a lot of money as a transaction coordinator. I did end up getting my real estate license later on just because my husband is also an investor. So we did that and it worked out. Here's a day in the life. So you're going to review contracts and open new files, track deadlines and critical contingencies, coordinate with title, escrow, lenders, and agents. You're going to manage documents, signatures, and compliance, communicate updates with clients and agents, and resolve issues to keep the transactions on track. Prepare files for closing and post-closing. Bottom line is that the TC keeps the deals moving so that the agent can focus on selling. I will add that investors also use transaction coordinators. The TC demand. So TCs have been in high demand, and it has been increasing year after year as it becomes more known that transaction coordinating is actually a thing. It is the person behind the scenes keeping the deals going. So the real estate industry continues to grow with transaction volumes rising annually, driven by shifting demographics, remote work trends, and increased investor activity. As deals become more complex and compliance requirements tighten, agents and teams are outsourcing administrative tasks at record rates. TCs are now essentials for saving time, reducing errors, and ensuring smooth closings, especially in high volume markets. In 2026, demand for skilled TCs spans in all business models, from solo agents scaling their pipeline, teams seeking consistency and compliance, brokerages aiming to improve client satisfaction, and investor organizations closing multiple deals monthly. So this is the question that everybody asks, right? Everybody wants to know, how much does the transaction coordinator actually make? Now, these are ranges, and there's going to be some key points that we're going to cover. Entry-level TCs can make anywhere from 30 to 45,000 and up annually. Now, keep in mind, these numbers are more, this data is really pulled from transaction coordinators that are doing TC work for agents. The fees tend to be a little bit more on the lower side than when you're working with investors. If you're working with investors, this very easily, starting off entry level, is going to be much higher. And obviously, these numbers are going to be dependent on how many deals you are working each month. This is really numbers based on a TC that isn't as busy. Experienced TCs anywhere from 45K to 75,000 and up annually. High performing independent TCs anywhere from 75 to 150 annually. I will say when I started off as an entry level TC working with investors, I was more in the high performing independence range my first year. Okay. I very quickly, in the first couple of months, made more than I did at my 9 to 5 and my management job. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that depending on your education and how many deals you learn how to do, and the different, your different target audience. So if you learn how to handle investor files and agent files and lender files, you're able to make a lot more money even in your first year. Like that 30 to 45 range, you will surpass that in the first couple of months. Six-figure TC business owners are making anywhere from 100,000 to 250,000 a year and up. Top earners, team leads, 250 to 500 and up. Right now, my transaction coordinating business has hit over 1 million. Over 1 million, okay? And we've only been doing this for 4 years. So it just goes to show you that this business is very scalable. There are TCs that after a couple months of being a TC, they're hitting that 10K a month. Again, you want to be able to learn different deal types. You want to be able to have those different skill sets, right? And you want to be able to know how to market yourself, network, and be consistent. If you're not consistent, obviously these numbers are going to differ for you. So consistency is going to be key throughout. You'll hear me saying that a lot throughout the course. So if you're looking to make a lot of money, this is the place. You have full control over how much you can make. Now, to give you a little bit more of an idea, for investor deals, we charge a minimum of 850 per file, minimum. And that's just a cash deal closing in 2 to 4 weeks, okay? 850. Now, if I'm doing a more complex transaction, like a creative deal, like a subject to, we're charging no less than $1,200 a month. Or I'm sorry, $1,200 per file. Okay, $1,200 per file. Now, there are other surcharges that increase how much we make per file. For instance, if a deal is closing in 2 weeks, we are charging an expedited fee of $250 to $300 per file. Okay, now if they are also needing a private money lender that's coming into their deal, we also charge for that as an additional transaction. That transaction minimum starts at 1,000. So sometimes I get situations where it's a cash deal, right? I just said it's 850. closing in 2 weeks. I add another $250 on that. And they're also getting a private money lender and they want me to assist. We charge $1,100 for that. So on that one transaction alone, I'm charging $2,200. So again, that's just one file, right? I'm working anywhere from 10 to 15, 18, even 20 files a month. So you do the math, right? And that's just a cash deal. Now, on creative deals, like subject to, seller finance, hybrid, all of those things, sometimes I'm making $3,000 per file. That's because I'm adding like post-closing services and things like that, because I'm able to service the client as a whole. So as you're going through our course, make sure that you are a TC that's able to service the client as a whole, right? If they have a cash transaction, you can handle it. If they have a creative transaction, you can handle it. If they have a private money lending deal, you can handle it. If they're an agent, you can handle it. If you can do all of those, believe you me, you will make a lot of money in this space. So TC income. So income will be dependent on a few things. Like I said, deal type, the deal types that you're able to handle, how many deals you're able to handle at once, right? Without decreasing your quality. How much networking and marketing are you doing? Whether you go nationwide or you stay in one state. Now, the amount of money that I just showed you in the previous slide, right? The amount of income. That is also for someone that's just sticking to maybe like one deal type. They're sticking to one state. They're starting off slow. They aren't doing a lot of networking and marketing. But someone that is able to handle many different other transactions and is able to work nationwide and able to handle many deals at once, they're going to be on the higher end. Flexibility. This is one of the reasons, guys, why I love being a transaction coordinator. Of course, I love the fact that I can make as much money as I want, right? I'm in full control of how much I want to make. But this is the other reason, the flexibility. I'm a mom. My kids play sports. I'm a wife. I live in Puerto Rico. I'm on the go. My husband is also an investor. We're going here and going there, seeing properties. So flexibility is key. I don't know about you guys, but after COVID, I had a mindset shift. I said, I am done with having a boss tell me when I need to pick up or when I can pick up my kids, when I can take time off, when I can do anything, right? Because you always have a boss that is on your shoulder, just pretty much controlling everything that you do, right? So a TC role is strictly task-based, which allows for a flexible schedule and the freedom to work from anywhere. I've worked from the car, I've worked from the beach, I've worked literally from the airport, I've worked from everywhere. As long as I have my phone, as long as I have my iPad or laptop, an internet connection, my business does not stop. Okay? I also have a team that's able to, assist me with my files if I'm not able to get to certain things. So flexibility is huge. Now, there may be certain requirements if a TC takes on a role within a brokerage or as an in-house TC for an investor. So if you're working solo, if you're working independent, you're going to have all the flexibility in the world. If you are working in a brokerage where they want you to be in the office, where they want you to work a set amount of hours, then that's different. So if that is something that you do not want to do, you don't want to go into an office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or anything like that, then just be an independent TC. I was an independent TC from day one. And then I started to hire transaction coordinators and things like that. So the choice is yours on how you want to structure your business. So tell us in the community if you had previously heard of what the role of a TC is. Okay, I didn't know what it was before. Did you hear about it before? What was your experience? Is it something that you experienced when you were buying or selling a property? Or is it something that you've been hearing a lot more on social media? Tell us about it in the community. We want to hear from you. All right, guys, as always, I will check you guys out in the next video.